This is a video demonstration of a program called Text to MP3, which I conceived of back when I was a university student. And there's two versions I had developed of this program. There's a single version and a multiple version. Basically, we'll launch the single version. What this program does is it takes as input a text file, plain, ordinary text files, and converts that text file as output to a number, usually to multiple MP3 files. And it does it in a rather unique way. There are other programs out there that do this, but this program is unique in the sense that you can convert not the entire text file into one big giant MP3 file, but it'll go through the entire text file and extract from that individual sentences, or even right down to individual words, and then take those sentences or words and convert them into separate, distinct MP3 files. And so now, how does this work? Well, basically, let me give you an example. So if we go to Wikipedia, let's say we could click on this message here. We're going to select the body of this message. It's a message from Jimmy Wales, the founder of Wikipedia. He's asking for donations. And we copy the message. We're going to go into a notepad. Okay, I've already done this. So here's the body of the message. It's not a very long text file, but we have a text file. So let's save this text file. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the program. We're going to open up this text file. Okay, you can directly paste. The good thing about this is you can directly paste the folder name right in here, or the whole file name right in here, or even better, if we click on the folder, we can just drag. So if I blank this out, this is a good feature. You can just drag the file right in there, and it'll put it right in there. And then to save folder, I'm going to save it in the exact same folder as the. I've already processed it here, so let me delete these files. 1 second. So I'm just deleting the. I've already done this once, so there we go. So there's no MP3 files in there. So there's no magic to this. I'm going to put the output folder in the exact same folder, the input folder. Now, the unique thing about this program is under the settings tab. So under the main tab is convert. If we click on settings, we see that we can select the voice quality, the audio quality rather. The voice quality is, I find, adequate for most purposes. You can go if you want really high quality or low quality or whatever, but if we're leaving it at voice quality, this is really the core of the essence of the program here, and that is the defined end of sentence. And this is what makes the program unique, is that you can define what an end of sentence is. So we can just put a period and then save the settings, and it'll go through this entire sentence, and as soon as it finds a period, there's one period, it'll take all the text before that. Today I'm going to ask you to support Wikipedia with a donation, and it'll convert that into one MP3 file. Then it'll go down and find the next period. There's a colon. Oh, there's a question mark, no period yet. So it'll go all the way here, and all this stuff in blue from the previous one, it'll convert that into the next MP3 file, and so on. It'll go through here. Up there's the next period to convert that. So this is a sentence. So that's considered a sentence. But it doesn't have to be delimited by a period. You can put in, instead of a period, you can put a colon, an exclamation mark, just put a space, and then a question mark. And basically, it'll use each one of those as a separate delimiter for a sentence. If you leave it blank, okay, and if there's nothing there, it'll use individual words as sentences. So in this case, today would be the first MP3 file. It'll be and you open it, so it'll say today. You open up the MP3 file, it'll just say today, and then the next one will say I, and then am, and so on. And the naming convention, if you click on use first word as sentence as the file name, and you leave it blank, it'll actually name the file today. So the file name will be today.mp3, and if you open up and play the file as an MP3, it'll just say today. So that's kind of a neat feature. It's a really cool feature if you want to. Some MP3 players will play the name of the file as well as the output of the file. So when you play the name of the file and the output, you can actually the computer will read back both speak and you can see the name of the file. But that's a bit of an advanced feature. But if you just unclick that and you put, let's say, period, colon, exclamation mark, and question mark, We're going to use the sound card. We're going to save the settings. Okay. And we're just going to convert this. So we click on Process Now. And what this does is it goes through the entire, basically it goes through the entire sentence, the entire MP3 file, and it finds each one of these sentences. So see here, there's 25 sentences. It's found 25 sentences defined by what we've defined as a sentence, right? And it's recording each one of them separately. So it takes not too long. I find if you let it go, I've got a few programs running in the background. It's not too process intensive, although it can take a while if your document is quite huge. There is a limit. Also, I should mention there's a limit of 999 sentences per document. So if you have a huge, massive book that you're trying to read, what I would do is separate it up into chapters and create a separate text file for each chapter, or divide it up in some other way that's less than 1,000 sentences, and record it that way. There is also, while this is processing, there is also another version of the program. So I mentioned the single version. There's a multiple version. It works in exactly the same way as the single version. Let me launch it while this is going. Except here's the multi-visual file. You put a folder name in here. Okay, you put a folder name, and it's done. So it's all successfully recorded. So if we go, let's take a look at this. So if we open this up, and we go here, we open it up. There it is, and you see there's wiki, and each one is wiki 001, 002, 003, and so on all the way up to 20. So there's 25 sentences. If you play this, it'll play the first sentence. You can't listen to that here because I don't have it set up to do that. But take my word for it, it'll play the first sentence. And I find that the voices, the way it works is that it alternates between voices. So the first sentence will be read by Crystal. Okay, AT&T voices. You can get these AT&T voices from my website. They're really good. They're high quality. They sound like human voices. Crystal is the first one. Then Mike is the second sentence. Crystal's the third sentence. And Mike is the fourth. So it alternates between Crystal and Mike. And I find that this is really good for focusing on material. If you're trying to retain material, that you have this alternating voices. It's really good. So Crystal and Mike, these are the two voices. You can use any voices that you have installed. As I said, I'll put a link to these two AT&T voices and more on my website, where you can purchase this program and you can download it right away. But that's essentially what this program does. And so there's the output. I can't play it back. And as I said, the multiple version, it works the exact same way, except it can scan subfolders. And the way it works is it'll find every single MP3 file and do the exact same thing the individual does, except not only one MP3, not only one text file. It'll find every single text file in the folder that you put here, and it'll process each one in the exact same way. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that you enjoyed this presentation. Feel free to leave comments and questions below. Thank you very much.